First tonight on our news at 7:30, hundreds of Bahamians were honored today for their service to country. Then, no room in the inn. The Consultant Physician Staff Association is speaking out over the lack of bed space and how it's impacting the Princess Margaret Hospital's youngest patients. Plus, the Foreign Affairs Minister is on the record tonight, responding to claims the Bahamian illegal hot water in Panama is being neglected. And later, a look at the growing impact of climate change as we explore whether hurricanes are intensifying as the world heats up. Our news at 7:30 starts right now. Welcome to our news on this National Heroes Day. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Berthany McDermott. Government House was the scene of the National Honors Investiture Ceremony as hundreds of Bahamians were recognized for their work. The honors categories included the Order of the Bahamas, the highest civilian honor, the Honor of Distinction, and the Order of Merit. Familiar names on the list were Cable Bahamas Group of Companies CEO Franklin Butler, former PLP Cabinet Minister Bradley Roberts, the Right Reverend Leish Boyd, and Assistant Commissioner of Police Chaswell Hanna. The group joins the likes of hundreds of national heroes who helped to make the Bahamas what it is today. From all of us here at our news and our TV, we send congratulations to all of the honorees. Pediatric patients are being treated in the Princess Margaret Hospital's chapel. That's according to Consultant Physician Staff Association President Dr. Sherelle Lockhart, who says the place of worship has been transformed into a ward due to a critical shortage of beds at PMH.
I can speak specifically to the pediatric population because that's who I work with. And we are housing children in the emergency room, which currently is the chapel of the hospital. In that space, we are struggling with no air conditioning and no sink to wash our hands and space. So we are housing children who are admitted, and we are trying to see new children that are coming in that require acute care.
When asked if doctors feel their concerns are being heard, Dr. Lockhart said there seems to be a disconnect. Lockhart says the situation is becoming more and more challenging.
A lot of the days, because when you don't have the tools to work with that you need, that's a struggle. You're getting criticized by, the general public that, we're not doing a good job. And, we don't run the hospital. We work for the Public Hospitals Authority, and we use the supplies and equipment that they supply for us. And if we don't have those, it's very difficult to do our jobs to the best of our ability. But again, every day we come out there and we do the best that we can with what we have.
Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell shooting down claims that Bahamians are being neglected in Panama. Mitchell telling our news the ministry does not intervene with the law in other countries when Bahamians end up behind bars abroad. Mitchell adding it's also not the ministry's duty to attain legal counsel for Bahamians who end up on the wrong side of the law in other countries.
The fact is they've been convicted of a crime. We have indicated to Bahamians, do not traffic in drugs, do not traffic in unlawful substances. You get yourself in problems overseas. We as a government do not have the resources, nor do we offer to get lawyers for people. You have to get your own lawyer. What we do have is a counsel who's an honorary counsel in Panama. That person has been in touch with all of the individuals who have complained or asked for consular assistance. There's one which is scheduled coming up.
Speaking about the specific incident, Mitchell says he understands it is a stressful situation for the family. However, he says it's up to the Panamanian officials to decide if an individual can serve the remainder of their sentence in the Bahamas. But he says there is a process.
You have to apply. Secondly, you have to have served at least 50% of your sentence before you can apply, and then it's up to the Panamanian government. But what happens is people think that every time there's your tooth aches or something, that the council is supposed to run there and do that. I said people are naturally stressed, but I want to assure the Bahamian public that every Bahamian who's overseas, we take their situation seriously and deal with every complaint which comes to us.
And now to the growing climate threat. The brutal wind and torrential rainfall of Hurricane Milton that killed 17 people in Florida this week were worsened by human-caused climate change. That's the recent findings of a team of international scientists. Freddie Joyner has the breakdown in this report.
I never experienced nothing like this in my life. It felt like I was in a movie.
As Florida residents like Crystal Coleman eyed a daunting recovery effort after Hurricane Milton, many said the storm's wrath was unlike anything they'd seen before.
I mean, this was powerful.
The brutal wind and heavy rainfall that battered the state was made worse by human-caused climate change. That's according to a team of international scientists known as World Weather Attribution. Their analysis showed that global warming made wind speeds around 10% stronger and rainfall between 20% and 30% greater. In less than 24 hours, Milton intensified from a Category 1 to a Category 5 storm. The National Hurricane Center said that made it the third fastest intensifying Atlantic hurricane on record.
We have warmer waters now in the Gulf of Mexico.
Flood scientist Hannah Cloak said the storm fed off record and near-record warm waters in the Gulf of Mexico.
We will see warmer waters in the future because of climate change, and this will affect storm surge because we're going to have higher sea levels to start with. We also think that climate change is going to affect the types of hurricanes that we're getting, and there is some evidence that they will be stronger and perhaps even spawn more tornadoes. And of course, stronger rainfalls as well, heavier rainfalls because of climate change. So these types of events could get worse in the future because of climate change.
Milton is the second Category 5 hurricane this season. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said there have only been 5 other years since 1950 that registered more than one Category 5 hurricane in one season. In light of extremely warm surface water temperatures around Florida and the Caribbean, forecasters expected a supercharged Atlantic hurricane season with between 4 and 7 major storms.
Thanks, Freddie. Well, as experts keep an eye on global weather trends and how they're impacting storms this hurricane season, we turn our attention now to what's happening weather-wise locally. Ian McKinsey joins us now in the Weather Center for your first look at weather. Ian.
Thanks, Berthany, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to what's left of your National Heroes Monday holiday. Currently outside our studios, we're under cloudy skies with a temperature of 84. Winds are from the north at 8 miles per hour. Feels like temperature around 90 degrees. Satellite imagery at this time, we have a stalled out frontal boundary across the northwest Bahamas, and this will trigger up 1 or 2 pockets of showers throughout the course of the night and possibly into tomorrow. Elsewhere, weak high pressure pattern in place. Stick around, we'll tell you more about this in the extended forecast and a look at the tropics still to come.
Still to come on our news, find out why boaters say new regulations are negatively impacting Marinas. The association president is speaking out tonight as he calls for the powers that be to simplify the process. And a local app designer is connecting clients with car rental owners with his new platform. That's coming up when our news returns.
So you need a part for your car.
You need a water pump for 2014 Honda Accord. Don't worry, man. I can send you to my boy. You can be straight.
But his boy is in wimauto.com.
Hello?
You say you looking for a water pump, right?
They made you question if you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, man, this cool, right?
It did not. Luckily, wimauto.com lets you search for parts by year, make, and model.
Found it.
Plus, you can pay online for pickup or next weekday delivery.
I have a guy for that. Actually, a website.
Save time and shop with confidence on wimauto.com.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
If you want a real nice, tasty Bahamian dish, there's a place on the fish fry you can't resist. You can watch the sunset out on the beautiful deck. Eat a juicy conch salad made by the contact technician. When they ask me where I gurn by the concrete. When they ask me where I gurn by Goldie. When they ask me where I gurn by the concrete. When they ask me where I gurn Farmhouse, Arwaki, 325-4300.
Summer is usually a busy time for boaters and marinas here in the Bahamas, but in recent weeks, it's not been as busy as expected, with marinas reporting a downturn in visitors. In fact, the president of the Marinas Association says boaters are telling them it's due to what they call new prohibitive regulations. Our Marlena Leonard tells us more in this report.
They need to simplify it, go back to what worked, which was online payments, and get the money into the treasury.
That's the call from Association of Bahamas Marinas president and CEO of Bay Street Marina, Peter Morey, who says marinas have seen a big dip in business this summer. Telling us when he's asked boaters why they're choosing to go elsewhere, he's told the new process has become prohibitive.
I think they think with all the confusion with the new immigration policy and the charter permits and filing for TIN numbers and the difficulty, even from the Maritime Authority, a lot of boats that were flagged Bahamas have dropped the flag because of the confusion.
Summer is usually a busy time for the marinas, but he says they saw a dip in visitors as early as May this year.
With it's just like everything else. All this information gets out there, and rather than disseminate it, people just say, okay, well, we'll just avoid it, and that's what's happened.
And of course, it's not just marinas being affected by it, but also the businesses that rely on the vessels that come in.
Especially the larger charter yachts, and they use the services of provisioners, agents, carpet cleaners, laundromats, all of those services, food stores the most. So I think in that respect, I think everybody's feeling it. I know we had a couple of guys in mentioned recently, even boat washers say that, they're pretty much out of business this whole past, 3 months. So that's tough, hard pill for people to swallow,
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Thanks, Marlena. Well, a young Bahamian is using his talents and skills to create a unique mobile app where local entrepreneurs with vehicles to rent can connect with customers at the click of a button. In this report, Joshua Williams tells us why he believes his app will help put money in the pockets of business owners.
Najee Winder is stepping out of the box to create an app that makes it easier for rental vehicle owners to connect with customers. He calls it Kuribo, a mobile app that both residents and tourists can use for all sorts of transportation, like cars, motorcycles, ATVs, and even jet skis. Winder believes now is the time to digitize the rental vehicle market.
Being that, technology is going to a different level, at a daily basis, every business is pretty much going digital. So to take advantage of this opportunity on that side of things and cater to this industry as well too.
And for those who have concerns about using the technology, Winder had this reassurance.
Every user on the platform goes through a verification process that ensures that each person on the platform is vetted and trusted and all that stuff. There is an integrated chat system to where renters and vendors can chat based on their booking and whatnot. Also, too, there'll also be, payment plans and all that stuff structured through the platform as well.
He also hopes his app can positively contribute to the nation's #1 industry.
So being that tourism is, a growing industry, the biggest industry in the Bahamas, it offers an opportunity for, people to connect with the tourists, bring more revenue to their business and whatnot, and, just capitalize on that market as well too.
The app is set to be launched soon. Here's how you can stay in touch.
You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Instagram page is Kuribo.bs, Caribo.bs. Facebook page is Kuribo Bahamas, and the website is www.kuribobahamas.com.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
When Our News comes back from the break, bingo for breast cancer awareness. We'll tell you how you can be a part of the cause.
Coming up in sports, it is National Heroes Day, so we check in on one hero on the floor in the WNBA Finals and a few coaching and playing in the MLB playoffs.
Well, what you doing here?
I dig in the well to connect to the house of building for me and Mavis.
Why you just don't call water and sewage?
Call them for what?
To get your city water. You don't have to worry about your water cutting off when the power cut off. And your water's clean and safe, free from coliform bacteria.
Cauliflower what?
Call us at 302-5500 to make the switch from well water to city water for a more fresh, reliable water supply for you and your family.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Brazos Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. The term must-win game is one of the most overused in sports, but this was definitely a must-win game for Jonquil Jones and the New York Liberty. On Sunday, the Liberty did just that in an 80-66 win over the Minnesota Lynx in Game 2 of the WNBA Finals. Jones finished with 14 points and 9 boards. She also got a few new milestones along the way and is now 7th on the WNBA's all-time postseason rebounding and scoring list. The Liberty tied the series at 1 game apiece in front of a sellout crowd of 18,046 fans, an all-time Liberty record for attendance at the Barclays Center. Just like Game 1, New York got out to an early double-digit lead. The difference in Game 2, they held on to that lead thanks to a 12-0 run in the fourth quarter. Up next, the series shifts to the Target Center in Minnesota for Game 3 Wednesday, October 16th at 8 p.m. Two of the biggest cities, biggest sports market, and biggest payrolls in baseball face off when Anton Richardson's New York Mets take on the Los Angeles Dodgers in the National League Championship Series. Offense was hard to come by for the Mets in Game 1, and they suffered a 9-0 loss to the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Game 2 took place earlier this afternoon, and now the series shifts to Citi Field in New York for Game 3, Game 4, and if necessary, Game 5. The Dodgers won the regular season series over the Mets 4-2. From one championship series underway to one that's getting started tonight, Jazz Chisholm Jr. and the New York Yankees will renew their rivalry with the Cleveland Guardians. For the second time in 3 seasons and fourth time since 2017, the Yankees will meet the Guardians in the playoffs. Game 1 of the American League Championship Series is tonight at 7:38 p.m. at Yankee Stadium. Game 2 will take place tomorrow night, also at 7:38 p.m. The Yankees have won the last 3 postseason meetings between the two franchises. In 6 games this season, New York holds the edge at 4-2. Chisholm has yet to face the Guardians this season as a Yankee, but back in June with the Marlins, he went 3 for 10 with a home run and 2 RBI against Cleveland in the 3-game series. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. Celebrate Heroes Day today by rooting against the villains. And we all know who those are, right? Yeah, you know. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, it's an opportunity to stamp out breast cancer. The Bahamas Cancer Society is getting set to host its annual bingo event. We'll tell you all about it after the break. Plus, partly cloudy skies outside the Our News studio. Meteorologist Ian McKenzie has your holiday weather update. The details when Our News returns.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Welcome back, everyone. Here's a look now at your extended forecast and a look at the tropics. We begin looking at our area where we have a stall-out frontal boundary across the northwest Bahamas. This will continue to trigger pockets of isolated activity. We also have a mid to low-level trough, and coupled together, we'll continue to keep an unsettled weather pattern across us throughout the course of most of the week. Looking at the tropics right now, we have Invest 94L. The Hurricane Center is giving this about a medium % chance for possible development. The system is expected to move more towards the west, and we want to continue to monitor the progress of the system as it makes its way and possibly become in a more conducive or favorable conditions. Right now, it's in a lot of dry air, so once it makes its way towards the Greater Antilles and even possibly in our backyard, it could pose some problems for us. So we want to continue to monitor the progress of the system. And in the Western Caribbean, we're also looking at a broad area of low pressure. This area has about a low % for possible development, but still, it is a problem that we want to continue to monitor. Here, we're looking at the area through the mid to end of the week, where we call the main development region, where this Invest 94L is expected to move towards the west. Boating forecasts for the northwest and central Bahamas, things have improved quite a bit. Winds will be northeast-east at 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Low tide at 12:13 a.m. High tide at 6:22 a.m. tomorrow morning. The southeast Bahamas, winds east to southeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Again, great improvement from previous days. In your extended forecast, expect a lot of showers on and off throughout most of the week. We have a series of cold fronts that should push through the area, keeping things unsettled. Those highs only getting into the mid to low 80s, with your lows the mid to upper 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks, Ian. Bingo for breast cancer. It's your chance to stamp out the disease and have fun. This Saturday, the Bahamas Cancer Society's annual Family Fun Bingo Night is back, and it's happening at the Breezes Bahamas Resort. Bahamas Cancer Society Administrator Erin Storr says it's one of their biggest fundraisers.
The admission is free, and it's an annual event to raise just a little awareness of breast cancer. And we're looking for all survivors, those that are still in the fight, and even the caretakers. Come on in at Super Club Breezes on October 19th and enjoy. We have wonderful prizes, and it's going to be a fun-filled night.
Well, thank you for joining us for our news tonight and spending your National Heroes Day holiday with us. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Berthany McDermott. We'll see you right here tomorrow night. Have a great evening, everyone.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to stay up to date with all the great content from the team, well, the teams you already trust.